Good morning, beloveds. I want you to know that I have a number of very funny friends. Yesterday, one of my friends likes to call yesterday Single Person Awareness Day. And then the same friend and then multiple other friends like to call today their favorite holiday, which is Discount Chocolate Day. So happy Discount Chocolate Day. It's just funny. It's just funny. But we have a really interesting title today. Our title today is Fire. So, it is February 15th. The title is Fire. Let's see what we're talking about today. Be perfect, be of good comfort, be of one mind, live in peace, and the God of love and peace shall be with you. And that is 2 Corinthians 13:11. The second quote is, the essence of love, while elusive, pervades everything, fires the heart, stimulates the emotion, renews the soul, and proclaims the spirit. And that is Science of Mind, page 478. Soren Kierkegaard wrote, to love human beings is still the only thing worth living for. Without that love, you really do not live. So many times we hear love is the answer, but how do we express love? We start within ourselves. Loving and accepting ourselves as special, unique, loving and accepting ourselves as special, unique, contributing expressions of the one presence. When we love ourselves, we are able to expand our consciousness to love each person we meet. From that point, we expand our consciousness of caring to those whom we haven't yet or may never meet. The greatest expansion comes when we bless and unconditionally accept and love even those who express hostility towards us personally or towards the world. Let us give up the attitude of you versus me, us against them, hostility, complaining, and judgment. Let us replace such attitudes with you and me together, us and them, understanding, cooperation, love, and caring. These are the keys to peace and harmony in our lives and throughout the world. I am fired with divine love. I recognize and express unconditional love. I start today energetically, expecting good. I vigilantly watch my thoughts to keep them filled with peace and love, knowing I have the power within me to turn a negative mood into positive action. I let my consciousness harmonize with the truth and establish peace in my life. And that is MM. That is Marilyn Mooney. Okay. So that last line just caught my attention. I have the power within me to turn a negative mood into a positive action. There is a surprising amount of research that says exactly that. If you are kind of in a blue mood or a non-preferred mood, there's a whole lot of research that says that one of the fastest ways to change your mood is to do acts of service or random acts of kindness. When you go out and do something for somebody else, you feel better. It's just the way it works. It has a lot to do, I think, with us being community wired. And so if you wake up kind of grumpy and then go and do something nice for somebody else. It's one of those things where I find it very interesting that I can wake up in an incredibly grumpy mood. And when I get to work, after I have helped that first customer, I feel better. Yeah, I know I'm being paid to help that customer, but it's just that act of service that makes me feel better. And as the day goes on, I generally will get, much better, unless I'm in a whole lot of pain. And then, but even then, even if my pain level's been really high, it still improves my mood to be of service. So it's just one of those things. And she is going on about talking about how love yourself. And that's a good place to start. It is very important to learn to love yourself. It may not be the easiest place for some of us to start. Sometimes the place for us to start with love is someone who is not us. And And sometimes it's not even a person. Sometimes it's a four-legged with fur. Um, and they're a good place to start in learning to love yourself, because they love mostly unconditionally. I mean, they love you because you are their person and you feed them. Uh, but that's always a good place to start. Start with something that can love you back. And people, I get it. We all have our own issues, and sometimes people can be kind of hard to love. And that's one of the reasons why animals can be a good choice when you start to practice love. Especially if practicing on yourself is hard. So, that's what she's talking about. If you want to get really good at love, you got to practice. Well, as I say, with the loving, kind, and compassionate, you are your own best test subject. Practice on yourself. And that's exactly what she's saying. Practice on yourself. And then gradually expand it, And I talk about that. It's like, you don't have to like everybody. But your life would be better if you could learn to love everybody. But like I said, you don't have to like them. And you do not have to submit yourself to their bad behavior. You can love difficult people from a distance. You can absolutely do that. I am not an advocate of putting yourself in harm's way to love somebody. It doesn't do you or the world any good. And most of the time, it doesn't do them any good. If they are behaving badly, then you are welcome to love them, but please do that from a safe distance for you. Love yourself first. And this is where we can go back to the airline. It's not even a metaphor. It's when you get on an airline, they say if that oxygen mask drops, you put yours on first before you help your neighbor. Well, that's the same thing. When you learn to love yourself, you put your oxygen mask on first, and then you help your neighbor. Well, if you put yourself in an unsafe place, trying to love somebody who's behaving badly, you're not putting your oxygen mask on first. So, take that and, when they say love everybody, please feel free to love everybody, but please do it from a safe distance. Okay? The title of the fire. Okay. So she's talking about expanding consciousness. Tells you that. And then let's give up the attitude of you versus me, us against them, hostility, complaining, and judgment. Let's replace those attitudes with you and me together, us and them, understanding, cooperation, and love. These are the keys to peace and harmony in our lives throughout the world. So, the mission today, should we choose to accept it, is let's change that you versus me to us, to you and me together, us against them to us and them. When we learn to cooperate, when we learn to see the humanity of each other, things do get better. Yes, I want you to love yourself. Absolutely want you to love yourself. But if starting there is too hard, feel free to start somewhere else. But practice love, which is the second part of this. I gave you the mission, which is about changing your attitudes, to us, you and me together, us and them. The second mission is to do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself. It's self-care. It is self-care. And it is absolutely about learning to love yourself. Learning to love yourself first. I think that's one of the worst things that happens in child rearing is, mothers are expected to give everything that they've got to this child, and then they have nothing left. What does that teach the child? Mothers should take care of themselves, and then they will do a better job of taking care of their families. So that's where this comes in. Practice love, kindness, and compassion on yourself. You deserve your own love. You deserve your own kindness. You deserve your own compassion. And it is absolutely self-care. I'm a big believer in self-care. As I have said, you cannot pour from an empty cup. Fill your cup up, and then you can pour it out. but don't pour it all the way out. Don't run yourself to the dredges for other people. Okay? That's not loving for them, and it's not loving for yourself. Sometimes people need to do for themselves. And when you pour yourselves out to nothing, they don't learn that. So practice on yourself. You are your own best test subject. And like I said, you deserve it. Now, I also say, because I suggest taking a deep breath before you speak. I suggest taking a walk, taking a nap. I suggest all of that. But I also suggest eat dessert first. Okay? Which is, one, you can take that literally. Eat dessert first. But you can also take it for the metaphor that it is, which means don't save the good stuff. Your life is a special occasion. Treat it as such. Wear the nice clothes. Eat the good food. Use the good china. Treat your life as a special occasion, because it absolutely is. All right? Practice, practice, practice. You're a beloved child of God. You deserve your own love. You deserve your own kindness. You deserve your own compassion. And as you practice this, just like when you're practicing the me and you together, you are wearing a path to the infinite source of love, kindness, and compassion. You are creating a default setting, a first response. And you are plugging into an infinite source of love, kindness, and compassion. When you do that, you have extra when you meet people that need a little extra. I mean, if we are going to expand our consciousness to love absolutely everybody, then we want to plug into the infinite source of. Okay? And having our own bank of it, that's fantastic. But plugging into the infinite source, that's even better. All right? So practice, practice, practice on yourself. I do encourage you to do something to engage your mind and your body. I do encourage you to drink plenty of water. Hydration. Your brain works better when you're hydrated. I do encourage you to get early in your day bright light. It was cloudy this morning, so there wasn't a whole lot. Artificial light counts. Circadian rhythms are a thing. It's science. You can look it up. And when you balance those circadian rhythms by getting early in your day bright light, you will sleep better at night. You will have more energy during the day. You'll just feel better. It's science. Please look it up. I'm not whistling Dixie here, mostly because I can't whistle, that is. And then I would say to, that my quote from Ernest Holmes, open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you do live in heaven right here, right now. It's all around us all the time because it's a state of mind. It's a state of consciousness. Once we learn that it's a state of mind, it's a state of consciousness, and we can get to it anytime, then it sets us up for that. It makes expanding that consciousness of love easier. When we realize that heaven is a state of mind, not a place, we don't have to go to heaven. We create heaven around ourselves. Or actually, more to the point, we recognize that it is around us all the time. So, it just makes life that much better. So practice on yourself. And one of the ways that you can do it is take Emma's advice. Look for the good and praise it. It'll get you everywhere all the time. Gratitude is a wonderful feeling. Okay, so I think I'm at the social media part where I remind you we are Creative Life Spiritual Center, Creative Life Spark. I'm the running Rev Ryan on the social medias that I am on. Please feel free to go and like and share all that stuff. We try and make sure we have great content for you. There was supposed to be a soul session tonight, which has been postponed to March 8th. So it's still happening, just not tonight. She had an important meeting and it conflicted, and we were like, no, go to your important meeting. We can reschedule, no problem. But if you want to know what else is going on, including getting the link to that soul session, please email info@creativelife.org. That gets you on the constant contact, and we the hot links are hot. Sometimes my mind blinks out. So if you want to know what's going on with the center, please email info@creativelife.org. It is a constant contact. If you have signed up and don't see it, check your spam filter. Apparently we've got over 700 people in the constant contact. So, ow! Did you seriously just bite me? Okay. Foster's a little toothy today. All right. I'm going to move into the process of my day. So I'm going to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonder-filled day, an awesome day, a take care of business day, a middle of the week day, a wellness day, because it's Wellness Wednesday from at my mortgage paying job, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day, because you are enough just as you are. You are a beloved child of God in whom God is well pleased and well represented. You are a divine spark. You are a brilliant light. You are a spirit in motion. You are God in action. You are a godling. Please know the truth of your own being. I say it every day because I'm hoping one day the lesson will click in. All right? Practice, practice, practice. Practice makes permanent. All right. Reverend David should be on around 5 p.m. with you. I'll be back with you around 9 a.m. tomorrow. And then I'm going to bundle up because it's going to start the high's going to be tomorrow morning. And then it's just going to drop from there. Gotta love the weather. It's February. All right. So, take care of yourself. Know that you are loved. If I can get my hand back from the cat. He will not give it back. I will see you next time.